Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. Notable absence is Paul Dorgan and George is there with us. Welcome, George. Hope you enjoyed the meeting. As far as the meeting is concerned, may I ask the leadership team to be upstanding and introduce yourselves, please?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Terry. I do membership and recruitment.
Good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary, keeper of stats, and had some face to live chats.
And I'm not Ben Goldie, but I'm standing in for him. Right, please be seated. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the meeting. As always, Scott, take it away.
Last meeting of the month today, so your last chance to impact and change around the numbers on the sheets. Let me read you our positions at the top. In third place, but not here today, 289 points for Jane, who's on holiday. In big jump, 391 points. Second place over the road for Terry Manning. And 412 points for Stuart at the top. 6 months, Stuart.
Thank you very much, Scott. Actually, we stood up. Stand up again. The education presentation.
I should probably walk to the front to go on camera, shouldn't I?
Go on then.
It's not Ben's one, he sent me actually. Ben did send me a slot, and then I read it and I went back through my records and found an old one that I hope you'd appreciate, called the EBF Power Hour. It's a challenge for you to consider. If you stopped everything in your day and decided to focus on EBF for just 1 hour, what is it that you would do? Would you be at a loss to fill that time, or could you make it productive and really useful? There's a number of different activities you can immediately pursue to give you tremendous impetus in developing your business for other members, and also giving your own business a major boost at the same time. I'll break it down into 3 parts. Part 1, focus on getting referrals. So work on referrals from the previous week's 10-minute speaker. Think in detail, watch the video back, what are they talking about? Is there anything that you can find to help generate referrals for that speaker of last week? Review each member's most wanted referral from the previous week. Some people take notes each week and scribble down the key bits of interest, but again, it's also on the blog or the video. Is there anything that you can learn and find in there? Follow up on your own possible referrals that you're working on. Can you turn any of them into certainties to make them worth passing? Review your contacts list. See what introductions you can make. You've got new clients that you've started working with. Are there any relevant introductions that you can begin to make? And look at your diary. Look at your upcoming meetings and what opportunities have you got in your upcoming week to introduce into the conversation other members and their potential connections. Part 2, focus on inviting visitors to the group. So first of all, follow up with previously invited visitors. See what they thought of the meeting. Just give them a ring, see if they might be interested in coming back. Easy to do. Review a list of trades and professions that we really are missing in the group, that we want. Think about what connections you might have to any of them. Look at your own customer contacts list. Have you got new clients that you haven't already spoken to EBF about, that you could start that conversation and see if they fancy just coming along and finding out more. Pick up the phone, make some calls, chat to some people, see what happens. Send some emails, and make a reminder in your diary to follow up on any visitors who have shown an interest. Call them on a Wednesday, just check they've got it in their diary. See you tomorrow, Gary, blah, blah, blah. That would be a great way of doing it. And the final part in the 3-part plan, focus on your one-to-ones. Plan, diarise and prepare for your one-to-one meetings you've got with other members. follow up on any actions that you've got coming out of a one-to-one, and then make a list of the top 5 members in the group who you haven't had a one-to-one meeting with, you'd like to arrange and set up. Pretty simple, right? Pretty obvious, all of those points. That's my 3-part action plan. None of the benefits of EBF membership are guaranteed. Just like success in life is never a matter of luck. It's a result of working and developing carefully, incorporating the EBF power hour into your weekly or even monthly schedule will take you a long way towards receiving the best possible return on your membership here at EBF. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scott. It's to be taken from that, it's just if we all did set aside 1 hour a week and thought about EBF, any one of those points, it might make things better, particularly with regards to businesses. But yeah, thanks, Scott. That was very appropriate. Next, Terry, have we got any membership matters that are of consideration?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a change in membership committee, been working hard, doing them with the renewal. Thank you, Blake and Leanne. And Carl, Carl. Anyway, we've renewed change membership, obviously that's why she wasn't included in the committee meeting. Her membership's been renewed, so we can get back to the front. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Terry. Right, we now move towards inexorably with the 60-second round, your chance to advance your business, but only in 60 seconds. Toby's on the bell. He will make the appropriate noise at the appropriate time, and when you hear the double bell, please mind up and sit down if you haven't done so already. The Oscar winner was Terry last week. He will be making a note today and awarding the Oscar at the end of this round. So, we've got today we're 21, good turnout. Well done, everybody. We'll start with Terry and then move on to Mike. So, we're off. Terry.
Good morning, everybody. Terry Maiden from the CFO. Today is the last day when landlords can serve the old Section 21 notice. I think it's 4 PM today. I don't want any, by the way. But from tomorrow, there's a new regime in place, and some landlords are up to speed with it and know what's going on, and some don't. People like Toby are aware of it, know what's happening, what you've got to do. The new grounds are fundamentally different, but really quite similar. There's lots and lots of rules and regulations about what you have to do and what you mustn't do. They're really important because there's massive fines if you don't get it right. But the fundamental underlying principle of can you get your property back, yeah, it's still there. The grounds are different, you have to approach it differently. There will have to be a court hearing. We know any landlords who haven't served the Section 21 notice by 4 PM today, and going forward they want to get their tenants out and they don't know how to do it, you know where to send them. That's me, Terry at TM Law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Terry. Mike, you're next, and you're followed by Shannon.
Well, everyone, Mike from Media. So I'm going to be a little bit lazy today. I've gone back to an old 60 seconds I did a couple of years ago. Some of you remember it, lots of you might not as much, but I thought it was quite an important one to cover some decent points. So if I was to say to everyone in here that's running a business that every successful business needs a video strategy, what would the answer be? Most likely some form of, I'm not sure about that, it's probably rubbish. I asked the group, whenever it was, last year or whatever, to give me a group of names of the first big successful businesses that they think of. And we got a list of Nike, Hoonigan, which was Blake, Heinz, Sneak, who I'm not really sure, probably still Blake, Monster Energy, British Airways, Coca-Cola and HSBC. But how many of those brands have video prominently on their websites? Every single one. The first 5 all had it over their main page, like major video headers. The others had secondary pages set aside to training and informative things. So just don't think of video as a throwaway expense. It should be a major part of your branding and how you get important information across to your clients in a reliable and effective way. So if you want any more advice on that, either look at what the big players in your industry are doing or speak to me directly. It's Mike, Black Multimedia. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Shannon, you're followed by Sarah.
Good morning, everyone. Shannon from downtown Brentwood. Normally when Clara and I come in here, we talk about the support that we give to our clients and all the amazing things that we do for them. But we don't really focus on the things that we do for one another. So that's what we do. So recently I had a knock at my door and it was a surprise delivery of a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I had no idea who they were from, and on the card it said, "Thank you for everything that you do for me and what you do for the business. Love, Clara." So there was no specific reason why she did it. It was just to acknowledge me and to thank me, and it was really sweet and lovely. And then also this week, Clara and I were at a co-working space, and I was in a really crappy mood. She was emotional about something, and we both just gave each other a really big hug, had a chat, ate a piece of cake, and I know that we walked out of there feeling so much better than we did walking in. So it's just really important to make sure that you support one another if you're in a team, but if you're a sole trader, still, pick yourself up, be your biggest cheerleader. So if you know of anyone who's looking for mortgage or insurance advice, right, that wants someone who not only looks after their clients, but looks after themselves or one another, then have them get in touch with me or Clara at Downtown Mortgages.
Work for all of us. I'm hugging the piece of cake. Sarah, you're followed by Toby.
Good morning, everybody. Last week I went to Torquay, lovely, exciting English Riviera, to have a look at the houses that I'm helping to sell down there. So I've got 37 that the developer has built. They're ready, finished, and we're slowly getting there. And it was great to be on site and see the state of them and how the landscaping is not quite there and the cleaning's not great and the windows aren't great. So I've really, in the last week, kind of ramped that up and got those problems solved. So I'm really looking for maybe estate agents, property developers who've got some plots or a new build to sell, and they just kind of, the detail afterwards, once they're finished and the contractors have all left, sometimes they get a bit sloppy and it doesn't work so well. So I'm really looking for that, those people who can put me in touch with anybody like that. So that's Sarah Smith from Orbital Assistant Services.
Thank you, Sarah. Toby, you're followed by Blake.
Hi everybody, Toby Acton. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know that's working really hard in their business but they still feel a bit stuck? They've got the ideas, they're putting the effort in, but something isn't quite clicking. Quite often it's not about working harder, it's about alignment. Alignment between what they're doing and what actually motivates them. When that's out of sync, decisions feel harder, energy feels low, progress slows. But when somebody really understands what truly drives them, everything starts to change, feel more aligned. They make better decisions, they focus on the right opportunities, and they build a business that fits them rather than a business that fights them. That's where motivational mapping and mentoring really fit well together. So if you know somebody who's feeling a bit stuck, who's unclear, not quite aligned with their business at the moment, then please, I would appreciate an introduction. And if that's you, let's have a chat. Toby Acton, pole position, getting your business on track and putting it in a winning position. What site?
Thank you, Toby. 3 M's then, is it? Motivational mapping and mentoring. Thank you. Blake, you're next. You're followed by Catherine.
Morning everyone. I've been busy the last couple of weeks. I've not really had much stuff to play with the smart home stuff. I've not got really a lot to say this week. But if anyone is looking to smart home their home and wants any ideas or help, let me know. I sent pictures of the progress of my media wall, which hopefully will finish this weekend after John kindly came through my electrics on last week. So hopefully that'll be all smart and I can show you exactly what I can set up. So thank you.
Catherine, you're followed by Sylvia.
Morning everyone, Catherine Foley, English Tutor Plus. So it's the term where heads of sixth form will be planning their events to launch the university application process. Where this was my job, I had to arrange trips to university, trips to UCAS fairs, talks with parents, talks with students, workshops for those making early applications, talks about student finance, foundation. You get the idea. It's quite a lot of work for a sixth form, head of sixth form moving to teaching. Arguably the most important part of sixth form provision. There's no point getting the A-levels if you don't know what you're going to do with them afterwards. And I can help relieve some of this stress because I can take over the student, the God, I'm reading it as well. The personal process. Oh my gosh, should I go back to bed and start again? The personal statement process. So I can help by giving talks to parents and students about personal statements. I do workshops working with specific groups of personal statement applicants, and I can work one-to-one with students helping them with this. So if you know anyone who either works with sixth form students or has a sixth form student who's about to go through this process, please put them in touch with me, because even though I sound totally illiterate, I can make the process a lot easier. Thank you very much.
Catherine, I was trying to explain to somebody what you did, but I remembered personal statement.
Excellent.
Made the whole thing simple.
Well, you love it, I should remember it too.
Sylvia, you're followed by George.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia. I'm running Essen Clean East Commercial Biohazard Cleaning Company. So this weekend, really excited. So I'm attending 3-day event called AppCon, and it's my second year there. And it's all about marketing, how you can deliver your message to the customers. And what's really stick in my head is that we actually need to educate our customers. Especially in my industry, everyone thinks they can do cleaning, and probably it's right. Everyone can dust, mop, cover, but to really clean to the standard that it needs, especially in the commercial spaces, it's quite tricky. And what it's the cleaning helps to maintain that spaces for a long time, because when it's not cleaned properly, one of the biggest issues is lime scale. If it's not read and cleaned properly, it can damage the surface. So I'm looking for business management companies, property management companies who wants to stay really good spaces for a long time. Thank you.
Thanks, Sylvia. George, next you're followed by Steve.
Morning everyone, George from Solid South Plumbing and Heating. We had a really successful weekend at the mud race. So anyone didn't know, we provided hot and cold showers this weekend for over 400 runners at the mud race, and they all raised, I don't know what the actual figure is yet, but thousands of pounds for local charities and to support people all around Malvern and the local area. But we had a team down at the prom at 5 o'clock Sunday morning, and they were surprisingly quite awake for 5 o'clock in the morning. But they all pulled together. We got it up and running by about 6, and then it ran really well until about an hour before the race, where we found we had some electrical problems and the generator kept tripping. So all hands on deck. We found a pump that was causing us a problem, got the pump changed out, and the showers ran for over an hour, giving all the contestants hot water. It was really nice to see everyone coming through expecting cold, and they got there and it was all nice and hot, so people were actually recirculating back round, going in the back of the showers to have another shower. Yeah, and then the team packed up, and we were there till about 8 o'clock in the evening, and it was a great day. So, yeah, thank you, George from Solid South Plumbing and Heating.
Yes, thanks, George. We've all been anticipating that. Thanks for that. Steve, you're next. You're followed by Stuart.
Good morning, guys. Steve Sherman, account director for ERB Commercial Risks. As you'll probably know, we are a commercial corporate insurance broker. We are, however, looking to kind of build our footprint a little bit more in local businesses. As you're probably aware, we aligned ourselves to Brentwood Football Club 3 years ago, which a few of you guys were guests of mine on Saturday, which I hope you enjoyed today. Since joining and being part of Brentwood's football club, we've seen gates go from about 200 people on an average day to over 700. Yesterday, they actually achieved the playoff semi-final win and won 4-1 away to Waverley, so they're naturally in the playoff final on Monday away to Billericay. But like with their business and like with our alignment, we're kind of building. We want to grow our presence locally. We're getting more businesses on board. So anybody who actually knows anyone in the local area that is not getting treated well by their insurance broker, please get them to come and see me, because I want to do as much business in the local community as I can. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Steve. Stuart, you're followed by Joshua.
Morning everybody, Stuart from Rosie Networks, our service provider. Obviously, we all do a lot of emailing and messaging and things like that, but sometimes you can't be picking up the phone or speaking to somebody. We provide voice over internet, VoIP telephone systems. They're brilliant systems, they're scalable, they can work for 1 or 2 people in an office, up to literally thousands of people in an office. The great thing about voice systems is, if you are only 1 or 2 of you in an office, you get the same access to all the same features
that the big guys get. Okay, so things that would have been really expensive and prohibitive previously, things like call recording or auto attendant messaging, information on hold, being able to record calls, generate meetings, screen share, transcribe the calls, give AI analysis of everything you've done on a phone call. That's all possible, okay? And that doesn't matter whether there's 500 of you in an office or 5. If you know any businesses that want to up their game when they are having to come to speak to their customers, please be in touch with me, Stuart at LG Networks.
Yes, Stuart. Joshua, you're followed by Dave.
Good morning, all. Good afternoon from here in the studio. I just want you to imagine the sun is shining, you're in your house, and you think, oh, I want to enjoy somewhat of sunshine. So you go into your, you go to your conservatory and you feel like you've just stepped into the horrible desert, or maybe not the desert, but it's hot, isn't it? It's basically a massive greenhouse. And that's because it's all glass and it's not very good, basically. So I'm actually currently dealing with a lot of customers who have conservatories that they built a long time ago, but they can't actually enjoy their gardens because it's too hot and in the winter it gets too cold. So what we're doing is we're tearing it down and we're putting really nice extensions on the back. It doesn't matter how big, how small, it requires the same amount of work because you're going to have to put it through planning. Because the planning officers are going to look at it and think, well, you're getting rid of the structure, putting a new one in place. That requires a planning application. So I'm currently looking to meet homeowners, anyone who's got a building who want to extend it, tell them to get in touch with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. Dave, you're followed by Scott.
Morning everybody, Dave from Local Electrical. This week I'm looking for people who want to save money on their electricity bills by fitting battery storage systems. So there's some pretty good deals out there at the moment. The batteries are fitted normally outside, if it's got an outside wall, use off-peak electricity to charge up the batteries and then use the energy that's been saved during the day. So there's really, really good savings. Probably you can pay, average house you can pay it for about £1 a day now. If you get one of Ben's really good tariffs. And yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. People who want to save money on the electricity bill, have batteries fitted and see what we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Scott, you're followed by Matt.
Challenge people to think about, visualise your homepage. And let's just make some assumptions of what's on it. There'll be some introductions to your core products and services. Most likely there'll be customer testimonials, reviews. You might have your office opening hours, for example, among some other things. But there's a service called Schema. Schema is code that sits behind all of this information and describes what the information is that's on your page. So if we specifically tell Google or whoever that that little bit of information there, all those numbers, that's your opening hours. And this bit of information here, this bit of text is a review. And these are 5 frequently asked questions that you've answered. That, you won't see it. It's there in the background, it's code. But that tells Google in the search results to display frequently asked questions or reviews or snippets. It's called Schema. It's incredibly powerful. You will need it to do that.
Thank you, Scott. Matt, you're followed by
Good morning everyone, Matt from Blueside. Scott actually talked about this a few weeks ago. He's got a funky new accessibility tool that he can add to websites, but we have accessibility design tools, i.e. us. And it's really, really important now. Although we're not part of the European Union, it's law within the European Union and Europe that it's not just websites, but design and products and real key informational things are accessible. And it won't be long before those laws come into place here in the UK. So when you're looking at your brand, your design, anything from packaging to communicating important documents and things like that, you've got to think about accessibility. Now, obviously in design that has many different areas, from colour contrasts to font sizes to all kinds of different things. So it's something that if you would like us to review your accessibility through the brand and your communications, then we can take a look. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Matt. Leanne, you're next, and you're followed by Terry.
Good morning, everyone. Leanne of Brooklyn Interiors. So this week I visited a lady who was feeling overwhelmed with her home. They'd recently had a bit of a leak, had to have some walls repaired, but the rooms had to be emptied and everything. I mean, this woman had so much stuff, but everything had to be put elsewhere. And she was feeling overwhelmed. She couldn't see past all of this stuff everywhere. I mean, the amount of storage she had was unbelievable. But we sat down, we discussed it. She had some beautiful artwork which she didn't know where to put, so I advised her on that. She moved some furniture around and didn't know how to style it and make it her home. By the time I left, she said she felt like a weight had been lifted. She could now see her home and start to feel, she'd been in the home for about 9 years, but she felt after speaking with me and my ideas and putting together a bit of a plan, that she actually felt she could feel at home in that home and she didn't want to move anymore. She absolutely hated it and now she loves it thanks to me. Brooklyn Interiors.
Thank you, Leanne. Of course, it isn't Terry next because he went first, but it's John Hammond next. Followed by Howard.
Good morning, everybody. As you should know by now, I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology, and we can do all your electronic security needs. So what sets us apart from other security companies? Well, we're not just a security company. We're computer engineers, we're digital engineers, we're electronic engineers as well. And it means that we can talk to the client sensibly, but not only to the client, but to their IT department and to other access control companies. And just recently, we've got a client that's their tenants in a building and the access control company of that building saying they can read the client's badge. The difference is, a badge like this has 37 bits on it. The tenanted access control system only reads 28 bits. They're trying to tell the client it will read the same number. And it's the difference between reading a 16-digit decimal number and a 12-digit decimal number. You're losing 4 digits off the beginning. So you can get duplicates. Because we know what we're talking about, we could argue with the tenanted access control company, explain to them where they're going wrong, and put the system right. So if you want someone who knows what they're talking about, give us a shout. That's John Hammond from JMH Technology, providing technology to security.
Thank you very much, John. Howard, you're followed by Sam.
Good morning, everyone. One or two of you might remember me. My name's Howard. I'm an independent financial advisor. Most of what we do centres around retirement planning and investment planning, but they're helping around the inheritance tax planning as well. I had a client come in to see me yesterday, and we're going to do something nice and simple and put £20,000 into an ISA. So we're going to talk about risk, how the portfolios behave, and pinpoint what's the right kind of portfolio to put in, and how that's going to behave and how that suits his profile. Great. But next month he's going to inherit about £500,000, and we're going to invest that as well. But by sorting out this ISA now, we'll be really engaged in a process, so the conversations we have on that larger sum of money, and he's never had any money like that before in his life, that'll be much, much easier because we've done a lot of the hard work. And the second bit, the £500,000, we're going to talk about tax. What's the tax treatment for that larger investment going to look like, and how can we make that as efficient as possible? And then in 3 years' time, he's going to inherit a load more money. But by doing this in stages, it won't be quite so overwhelming for me. We're going to do it at his pace, so he's kind of fairly relaxed about it and isn't overwhelmed by the size of this money that's going to be invested for him. So if you go in and you've got £20,000 now, £500,000 next year, and another 1.5 million in about 3 or 4 years' time, you know exactly where to send them. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Howard. Sally, yes.
Morning everyone, Sally from Elan Home Fragrances. So one of the services that we provide are tailor-made team building masterclasses. It's normally a 2-hour experience. We can do it for as many people within reason, up to about 30. And we can use this on a corporate basis for assessing such as The Apprentice or Dragon's Den, to encourage team building between fellow workers. Is particularly appropriate obviously for ladies that often don't want to get involved in other team building experiences. And we can also do it, I have done it for families and so on. So we're actually going to have a go at this in 10 minutes, which is a bit of a challenge, but hey ho. So if anybody knows, or if any of you are interested in a team building experience, which is going to be 2 hours version of the 10 minutes we're going to do today, please let me know, and I'd love to have a chat with you. So Sally from Elan Home Fragrances.
Thank you very much. Right. Aidan Survive from TM Law. I've been involved with commercial leases again this week. A new client who's got 3 existing leases that run out in about a year's time and is negotiated, because they're on different parts of the estate, he's found another estate with 3 new units that are right next to each other. So we're looking to surrender the old ones and go into the new ones. And we've got to decide whether we have 3 separate leases or 1 lease to cover all 3. We've looked at things like stamp duty and land registry fees, as well as other and more obvious flexibility things for his business. Also tomorrow, I've got a completion of a commercial lease. The person dealing with it is acting for herself, so I've had a very detailed set of instructions as to what happens, what documents go where, how we deal with money, and how we finally complete it. What could possibly go wrong? So that's what I'm looking for and deal with: commercial leases, acting for even landlords or tenants. That's Aidan Smart from TM Law. And last but by no means least is Paul Booth.
Morning. HMRC are increasingly getting good at getting information from lots of different sources. So over the last couple of months, we've had new inquiries from clients who have had letters from HMRC saying, we believe you need to complete a tax return. And the reason for that is because they've been getting quite large amounts of interest, non-ISA interest. HMRC are aware of that because they get the information from the banks and building societies. So today I'm looking for anyone who received a lot of interest and who doesn't complete a tax return. These people are going to get found out at some stage, and they'll need to complete a tax return. Often it's the elderly people who don't have the IT capabilities also to complete self-assessment tax returns. Called Booth from Booth & Co. Nice tax.
Thank you very much, Paul. So you're looking for elderly people, which is why you're attending the old kids' lunch. Excellent. Right, that is the end of the 62nd round. Thank you all for your contributions. Nice and prompt, really beautiful. Time for Sally, but don't move yet. The award of the Oscar for today. Terry.
I wasn't going to give it today, pre-arranged, because he sat right next to me, but probably wouldn't be fair. Hal, excellent, but you can't just turn up this week after months and walk up for the Oscar. Sorry, mate. Very good otherwise. I really loved the hug and the cake. It's fantastic. So well done supporting each other. But I think for the person who made their client feel the best about their home, and I know what this is like, it's going to go to Leanne. Well done, Leanne.
Thank you very much, Terry. Well done, Leanne. Right. That definitely is the end of the 62nd round, so we move on from there. Moving on from there as always is the meeting secretary's report. Scott.
Quick and simple, just the numbers exercise. 16 referrals recorded, £8,000 of business since last week on the green newspaper at least, bringing us excuse me, to about £110,000 this month. So, pretty good.
Thank you very much, Scott. Right. Well, we've had the 62nd round. Second major part of the meeting is the 10-minute presentation. Before we move on to Sally, who is going to be doing something amazing, just remind you the email that Ben sent round. Next week is 10 minutes with Blake and the Ed slot with Catherine, followed by the next week John Hammond with Stuart. 21st, Terry, 10 minutes, Toby Ed slot. 28th, Catherine, 10 minutes, Paul Review, Ed slot. It's the running order at the moment. He does your weekly update, as you know. Keep your eyes open for that. Make sure you're ready and able to deal with the various things you've been allocated. Right. we won't bother with bio sheets or anything because you're going to find out everything that we do. Our salaries now going to run us through something that looks complicated. So,
Okay, well, for myself, we're all going to take part in this this morning. Complete disaster. I can put a PDF on the chat. Some of you have seen it, lots of you haven't. I've had a good chance to have a run around and tell you all what you're doing. The idea is we're going to do a 10-minute coffee candle sprint today, and we are all going to try and create a product for the EBF, which is a coffee-scented candle based on the fact that we all meet every Thursday to connect over coffee or tea and network. So this is a product-based exercise. You've all got your roles. Does anyone not know what they're doing? Terry, come to the floor, please. And I'd like Shannon to the floor because she's my other chef. So you guys are in manufacturing with me as the shop steward and overseeing manufacture. And the rest of you are all working in a team. So Steve, you're with the finance team because I need you to think about things like the risks associated with what we're doing here, the approximate cost maybe of an annual insurance policy. This is all obviously completely conceptual, but we all need to work together. So move around. Aidan's the judge. He's watching all of you to see how well you perform. And hopefully at the end of it, we'll have a coffee-scented candle for the EBF with a price, with some investment, with some safety if we blow up the electrics, data on hand, with some idea about marketing and sales from Leanne and Sarah. And yeah, let's just go. Okay, so let's turn these on and let's get going. So guys, if you'd like to just pop your apron on. Okay, and I'm just going to pop these plates on. Just to let you know that I don't actually use these in the studio. These are my mobile masterclass hot plate. So the first thing, and you need to put the latex glass on. Again, I don't normally bring the oil bottles out to the studio. Terry, you've got some gloves on. I thought I'd draw the line at the mask, so it'll be VOC masks today, which will be ventilated. So the first thing that we're doing is we're just melting the wax. So the wax we're using for EBF is a sustainable, eco-friendly rapeseed and coconut base. And the notes of the candle have been pouring, so I just need to go actually to make sure I use it properly. So the top notes of this fragrance that we're making for EBF are coffee, obviously, and rum. And then our mid notes are a coffee liqueur, so we have a slight alcoholic influence, but it's only really just to give some zest to the fragrance, so it doesn't smell like that particularly what it is made. And then the base notes here are vanilla and caramel, so it's giving it a really nice sweet, creamy texture. It is amazing, right? It's a fairly innocuous fragrance oil, so we don't really need to have a CLP. Just make note, my compliance team, you don't really need to have CLP container labelling packaging regulation on it because there aren't actually any sensitizers or allergies that relate to this particular oil. But we have got one. I have made it because I like to put them on. So this is the safety label that you guys are going to put onto the base of the candle vessel, which is this clear glass. So if you'd like to pop your safety label underneath your candle vessel, Espresso Martini. Espresso Martini is the name of the oil. And then what we're going to do is we're going to weigh out the oil to put into the candle. Now, I only make luxury scented candle. I don't make elder versions. I don't use minimal amounts of oil. We use the best wax and we use the best oils. So these are optimised fragrance oils that come from a supplier that I work with in Scotland. And we're going to pour at 10%. So if you walked into Aldi and you picked up a cheap candle and it smells like this, it's not going to go.
Health and safety. Can you open the windows a bit?
Pass this finger first. Yeah, you can get a very slight version of what we're doing, but we're making a luxury scented candle today. It's all about quality for the EBF. So we are at 10%. So this is a 220 gram candle. So you guys need to weigh out 22 grams of this fragrance oil. When you're ready,
You're looking roughly about £1 per mil. And if you keep your eye on 20, you're going to pour in, hang on, that's it.
How many?
22 grams, please.
It's really hard to pour out.
Perfect. Terry?
Should this be
Yeah, that's fine. So that's a bain-marie. We don't directly heat the wax on to heat source. We use bain-marie so it just melts the wax more gently. With it? And that's nearly done. What I'm actually going to do. No, just don't do it. Unless you're told.
I think it makes it, you do it in here.
Yeah, Shannon's done this with me before. But what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit. Do not touch your nose because this is all you'll smell for about 3 weeks. Because it is actually pure oil, not diluted. So just waft it under your nose and pass it on. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to let that cool down. Just melt nicely. So the next job is to put the wick into the vessel. So it's a bit like a ship that goes into a bottle. How do we get the wick inside a solid candy? So we obviously put it in before we put the wax in. So guys, you need to turn your wick upside down. Can you remember how to do this?
Well, I just know you put it right in there.
Okay, so there's a wick pad. Here's like a little round double-sided pad. And you're going to stick the pad to the base of your wick. This wick is relevant to this fragrance combination, to this actual recipe that we're making. Every candle that I make has a different wick. It's like a different engine in a car. This is combustion. We have to make sure we don't put too strong a wick in, so it smokes, it's unstable, it soots. And at the same time, we want to make sure we get a lovely full melt pool so that you get a lovely fragrance throw and the whole thing really goes through the room with fragrance. So if you pop your wick pad onto your wick, Terry, there's one shot of doing this. So if you get it wrong, it's your fault. You know how to chop in the centre of that glass? I like to tell people to imagine that it's like the hands of a clock, where the hands are held together in the middle of the clock. So a clock face. So just look for your centrepiece, and then press that down really firmly, and then you can push down with the fingers just to make sure that the pad is stuck. Put your fingers in there and you press it out.
Terry, your wick's drooping.
Well, good point there, because just so that we don't actually have droopy wicks, because no one likes droopy wicks, we're going to use this little device here. I've got lots of different versions of this. These are not the ones that I use professionally, but these are the best ones for beginners to use. So what we're going to do is this is called the wick sustainer. We're just going to pop this over the wick using that centre hole there, and then you're going to just use that tiny, there's a little nick in the back of it, so you're just going to slide the wick in there to hold it steady. Okay, Shannon knows how to do this. So Shannon has done a masterclass with me previously. You just, that's it, and then just slide it back in to make sure it's held. There's an actual Right, Shannon, you're ready to go. Now, normally in my studio, we work to very, very, very strict temperature control. There are lots of reasons, I won't bore you why we do that, but it's to do with the crystallisation process of the wax that we're using. I work with 2 different waxes, so I have 2 very different temperature controls to work with. It's to do with how quickly the wax cools down, and basically it is to do with combustion, and it's also to do with aesthetics. So today we obviously can't control the temperature too well. It will still work, it might just not be the best candle that we could actually sell for lots of money. So, but it will work, it will be a perfectly good candle. So Shannon is now going to pour. Terry, you just need to hang on until that's melted. Yeah. Shannon's going to pour the molten wax now into her mixing vessel, which is the metal jug. So normally with this wax, we now wait once we pour in the fragrance oil until it gets down to 38 degrees centigrade. So we've melted this at around about 60. It's slightly hotter because we're using these bain-maries, but let's pop that in there. So Shannon's now going to pour pure 10% oil into the 90% wax, and then she's going to stir it for a couple of minutes, very slowly, so that we don't put lots of air into the candle. And she's going to stir it for a long time. So there's no chemical reaction taking place at the moment. What's happening is, if you imagine the fragrance oil has gone into the jug and the wax is like a duvet, okay? And what Shannon's doing now is she's enveloping the fragrance oil with this duvet. So it's a bit like bubble wrap. She's making sure she's got an even mix between the fragrance oil and the wax molecules. It takes a couple of days at least for this wax to cure and crystallise, at which point it's sealed in the fragrance and it's ready to be used as a fuel, as a candle, and to create a melt pool. When we create a melt pool, the heat from the candle flame allows the released fragrance oil that we've trapped in this duvet of wax to evaporate into the air. So fragrance from a candle doesn't come from the flame, fragrance comes from the melt pool around it. So that is why it's important for us to have a reasonably good melt pool. If it's not warm enough, you're not going to get much throw. If it's too deep, you lose the stability of the wick, it starts to pull over because it's losing its foundation, which is also the wax that isn't molten, it's holding it in place. But when you have a candle that you sometimes see, you get, sorry, just going to borrow your cup, you get like a big ridge around one side. That would be because the wick's not in the middle, Terry's is, and so Shannon's, they've done a perfect job. And it's creating the perfect circle, but some of that circle is going on the outside of the vessel where there's no actual candle. You'll also find that happens if the melt pool is too deep, and then that means that the wick's going to just go over, and then you don't get that even melt pool in your vessel. So we do a lot of testing. We have to do testing to British standards for fire safety, for the height of the flame, for the heat of the vessel, for how long it smokes after we extinguish it. It's a massive bar on a spreadsheet of tests we have to do. We do that in a controlled environment, and we do that every 4 hours, and we rest the candle for an hour, and then we do another 4 hours, and these burn, my candles burn for about 25 hours, so everyone is on the test. We have to do 3 consecutively. If one fails, we have to start from scratch again. You have to get 3 through the test consecutively. So people think making candles is really easy. Like I do it in my kitchen, and then I go off and do a bit of yoga, and it's such a science. And to have a perfect candle to put my name to, that I can then say to my clients, I want you to give that to your really important VIP customers. It's so important that we have maximum performance. So everything that Elan does is fully tested. Everything's been independently tested in another laboratory, so that it's not just us. We've got independent certificates on our products. It's included. So, you had a good mix? Yes. Now at this point normally we will take the temperature of the wax. So there's a big demo here for you. So you want to take the temperature of your wax. What's it say?
It is 57, 58, it's full.
Okay, so I use these double boilers at the studio, which are huge. One's a big Bertha, one's baby Bertha, one's smaller than the other. But they allow me to make up a big one. I can do 500 cans in a day with that. And they are temperature controlled. So once the wax goes in, it just sits there at the required temperature. So for this rapeseed and coconut wax, it will just hold the wax for me at 60 degrees. Okay, because we've used the bain-marie, we've just got slightly over that. So now we're not going to do it, but now we will just put the wax, we will put these to one side, work on something else, and we come back to these when they're cooled at 38 degrees. That's the optimum temperature. Oh, we're not going to do that now. I've got 10 minutes. So,
61.5.
yeah, it's fine. So it will cool down as we put it into the vessel. What I suggest you do now is put the candle just onto onto the table so it's absolutely flat. When we're pouring 100 cans at a time, we are wearing VOC. Now, I bought one in the other week, but we're wearing VOC masks, which is because it is like having 100 candles lit at any one time. So what Shannon's going to do now is pour the mixture into the vessel. So the wax will start to cool down straight away, so you'll start to see the wax beginning to set. I'm hoping that these will be set enough for you to take them away. If not, we can leave them here and advertise EVF. So that's it. Sylvia's now going to come and clean up for us. So there's the candle. But yeah, we normally do. I normally pour a batch of 100 at a time. So
Is my job done?
a lot of stirring. But I've actually got a couple of stirring machines as well. So I've got magnetic stirrers that do work for me. But I didn't know. So you need to burn off some calories. And there you go. Well, you don't actually. Right, you're done. That's it. And then you can pour your mixture. Here we go. Can I just say one thing, Terry? If you pour the mixture into this now, you can use these wicks the same as upside down like this, not a problem. But if you have got a little bit too much mixture, your wax is going to stick to that. So if I was you, I would take it out and turn it up the other way and have it as a convex shape. Yeah. Just stop pouring then into stuff.
Sally, am I done?
You are done. Thank you very much. Round of applause for her.
Yeah, you get must be there.
Well, justice.
Well done. So that, in essence, is how we make a candle. There's a lot more to it than that. As I've said, we've done a lot of testing beforehand to make sure that we put the right wick in with the right oil. So woody fragrances tend to be a lazy oil. They need a lot more turbo power to get them to burn, to get the throw into the room. Citrus fragrances are much quicker to evaporate. Top notes are much more energetic. We use in fragrance quite a lot. We use something called an aldehyde. It sounds, it's obviously a chemical, but it's not harmful. But an aldehyde is a synthetic that we put into fragrance oils to give it. It's like the fizz in the champagne. It's like it's that we're giving. And so when we're working with lazy oils, when we're working with fragrance notes that don't, thank you. Fragrance notes that don't work so well, we'll put an aldehyde in with it. So really quickly. Have you done your homework? Are you ready? Yeah. Right, so let's hear from the finance team. So the cost of this, just sorry?
Yeah.
Quick. The raw material cost is £7.50 per pound. So what have you worked out I'm going to sell it for?
The 10% discount is quite
good. Steve, how much do you think it's got this?
£750.
A year, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take that into account. Any other comments from anyone else? What about our marketing name?
Yes, two ideas. All right, we're going to have it go on to a TV show, Ready, Steady, Candle. Okay, you've got a celebrity version as well.
Yeah.
Secondly, to get funds from investors, we're going to do it under the either a seed investment scheme where they get tax relief on their investment,
sounds good,
or the enterprise investment scheme, or similarly, slightly less tax relief.
Brilliant. Sounds like Josh, you presenting marketing team.
Yes, so we've been thinking very hard. We've been inspired by the process and how the candle was put together, and we've been thinking about what makes EVF such a strong business network. And what we've come up with, basically, we've kept the candle in this form because of all the technical and the compliance. We want to make sure that when it burns, it does what it says on the tin. However, we are designers and we do like to have a bit of fun, don't we, Matt? So what we've done is sort of very clever. Now think of those coffee cups you see, they're made of glass, and they're massive. But within that massive glass is actually the espresso or whatever, the flat white size. So we've taken that and we've put it in and we've thought, right, we've kept the candle like that, and then we've created the glass that holds it to represent EBF. It's got a wide base because connections make us strong, and it's tall because we aim high. So there we go.
Got a name for it?
Well,
yeah, well, there's a couple of names here. So obviously perk, because with the coffee, it gives you a perk in the morning and everything like that. But that obviously can evolve into peak, which very nicely forms into
it's got a shape, it's like a peak.
There's obviously ones like mocha, but then I was trying to think of something a bit more velvety, so maybe there's something around velvet, or something a little bit more sexy, chemise, kind of that, nice material, gives you that nice warm feeling, but also there's a bit of luxury there. So there's a couple of names in the stirring pot, so to speak.
And what about our marketing blurb, Catherine?
I'm so sorry, I just didn't realise I had to do it at the same time. I thought I was going to be given a little
concentrate
session afterwards. I can't multitask. I'm too menopausal to multitask.
That's it. Come back to that.
Thank you.
Workshop going on.
Yes, yes, we
What
will.
do you think?
Yeah.
How do you think we can promote this?
Well, a few things. Obviously, we would play up very much all of the amazing, the sort of paraben-free, vegan-friendly stuff. So we really want to focus on that market as well, about how great the quality this candle is. We also think we could sell it as part of a networking survival kit with a notebook and a pen. And also we'd be giving one to all our new members in order to have them in our homes and really to showcase them personally. But obviously social media is the biggest one, get it out there and get it on all of our sharing it on our socials.
Perfect. And any comments from my SEO?
So AI search, Google search for other similar projects if they exist, or similar ideas that we can also learn from in advance. Briefly Mike on images and video that we're able to capture, which he's done an excellent job of, thank you very much. You can create a blog post telling the story of the event that we've done, but also include extra info about the fragrances, the sustainability, the benefits, and so on, linking off to appropriate websites as we go. We're going to research other networking groups where we can host our story on their blogs, just to rub their nose to see the awareness of why we're better than they are. Build out a social campaign that we can, of course, promote, and then encourage all of us group members to share all of those stories in their own networks to get it out there to the world.
Excellent. Anyone, any other comments, Toby?
What was our performance analyst? I was concerned initially when Terry put his apron on backwards, but then I realised that deep down he knows he was superhero, which actually is cake.
He's never used one before, he's never used one.
You first looking at tucking into his underpants.
Okay. So just a quick final check to make sure they haven't drifted. Anyone got any questions? Sorry, I know we ran over. Is everyone well done? Oh, Stuart.
Thanks to set and go on
Well, it's a little bit warmer than normal. So, in a masterclass, if we were doing this for 2 hours, it would be ready for people to take at the end of it. So, an hour.
No more questions. Right. I'm sorry, we haven't got time.
Can we cut that short?
Yeah.
Sally, fabulous. You obviously, the preparation is excellent. May I adjudicate to just make one or two comments? The first comment is, I'm someone who walks into any shop with any fragrances and starts sneezing. This is the scent that I can live with. Brilliant. Really like the smell, if I can call it that. And ideal for estate agents who are helping people sell houses, always make sure there's a candle with a coffee smell coming out. Brilliant. I was very impressed with the two contestants. Terry's special mention as a beginner, when he managed to get his wick standing up, and one way or the other, his stirring action was brilliant. And obviously, Shannon showed her true professionalism when we did it before. And the whole thing was well put together. It involved everybody. Absolutely brilliant.
So, a round of applause.
Right, okay, now there's no emergency. Don't sit down. Don't sit down. You can do some running. Let's get round with the referral testimonial round. Let's see if we can do it properly. Doing around as well.
Scott, excellent as always. Always good to have that reminder. Brilliant. I'd say probably one of the best 10 minutes of all time, I would say. Not just a year,
Yeah,
I would say probably of all time. I've probably done 15, 17 years. So thank you. Couple of thank you monies, very good one-to-one with Sylvia from a couple of weeks ago. There's a thank you money for Dave Roberts.
That was amazing, so I think so might be up to the award when they come around next year. This isn't my return to EPF, that was a few days ago at the synergy meeting with Paul and Hayden, and that's the referral for 4 company accounts.
Very, very well done. My wife and daughter did one of these, I built it at home over lockdown. And when they finished, they had to put their leftover wax and pour it down the sink. Referral for Aidan for Paramount. Excellent meeting, great Ed-Slot. Nice to be reminded of that. Scott, thanks for 10 minutes. You do, and had a lovely one-to-one with Leanne via the M25, getting stuck behind a lorry. We went to go and see a client and talked a lot, and it was really, really good. I very enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thanks everyone, great meeting, great 2 minutes. I'm not sure I'd get 10 plumbers making candles.
I bet you would.
I'll try. Yeah, see what it is. We could
try yeah, quite good to see what slot, educator slot rather. Thought candle making was fantastic. Probably not get Terry to make my candle for me. But otherwise, yeah, really great meeting. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Scott, and yeah, very good. You obviously know your stuff. It's brilliant. I've got 2 here, both for the same person, Paul C. So, yeah. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for the reminder, Scott, and yes, Scott didn't sound brilliant. Really enjoyed that. You might not have thought it, but I was really enjoying it. One for Blake, we just talked about AI, help me set up. I've got additional tools we need to help me sort of thing. And just thank you for Sylvia, testimony for Sylvia. You're a lovely lady coming on Clean Markets.
That's fantastic. It's really good though, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to go in sort of order of decreasing relevance of Europe. Here with Matt, again. I'm not sure we can quite often talk, but on a similar note, Paul Stevenson and George saw them all at the mud race. And took some photos there actually. Also saw Leanne, but only for about 2 minutes, so I'm not sure if we really can. Referral to Blake for ration packs, which is already delivered.
Very
much. And a referral to Sarah for local properties by Cam. It's not been Then a very, very brief 20 seconds for Ben, who hopefully should be back in the next few weeks. But if anyone knows anyone looking for energy or UW type things, if he gets 1 more customer today, he gets a bonus and a holiday or something like that. So refer him today if you can.
Scott, great 10 minutes. And thank you to money to Mike, Paul, and Matt. Choose that guy. Not to Mike. Not to Mike.
Really enjoyed that. It's a shame we've been so limited on time because that's been good and watched for ages, but really, really, really good. Social with Catherine for a couple of days. So much gin drunk.
Yeah, that's
really, really, really good. Weekend break. Thank you for the money for loads of people. I've got all the official forms in yesterday. Matt was one of them. There were lots of EBF ex-members and so on. That's Matt. That is a design review for Euro Blue. We're gonna just check it.
Excuse me for not standing up. Excellent. Well done, Sally. Brilliant. And everybody. Good. It's timely of slots. It's always worthwhile revisiting earlier on because it's fundamentally important that we spend time. If we all just resolve to spend an hour separately on EBF and follow that pattern, it might very well help not if this is the last turnaround. Bear that in mind all three.
Thank you for the Ed slot. There was someone that I mentioned about being a visitor, so that was good to remind me, so I'll follow up with her. Excellent 10 minutes. Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Okay.
I have a thank you for the money for Terry, and I have Jane's synergy. That was.
Great, Scott. Yeah, as other people said, good reminder on that one. Fantastic. I just wanted to drink that.
I know.
Yeah.
You might need Sylvia as well.
Yes. I'll just get toast soon. A referral for Leanne, we spoke about. And some of you remember Nick Cook, who's a long-time member, left recently. His son-in-law called me the other day. I've done some work with him previously. And as a result, I was able to put him in touch with a trademark solicitor and also with Steve Chilton, for insurance, for a new business that he's got. And also, thank you to Stephen for the help to get my landlord's cover sorted out. The previous broker gave me very short notice of renewal. Broker that will remain anonymous, the name begins with Brown and ends in Brown. But Stephen was able to sort it out, give me better cover, which was fantastic. Thank you for that.
Great. Fantastic 10 minutes, but now I'm really nipped off you because I've got to do one in 2 minutes. I've got a thank you for the money, which has got Stuart on there, but does he deserve it because he's top of the leader?
No, I don't think so.
Next month. Yeah.
I can't not do one of these. I'm very, very quickly just written. This is not my best work, but whether your night out ends with a warming digestive of coffee liqueur, a livening rum to keep the night going, or a creamy vanilla and cream dessert, caramel dessert, this candle will evoke that sense of calm, peaceful satisfaction you get after the perfect evening. The best I can do in 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Not too much. It's dreadful. Yeah, equally lovely weekend. It got off to a pretty shit start, but we celebrated all of the rest of the weekend, really, didn't we? It was fantastic. And there was something else, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, I haven't got any.
Yeah, great meeting, great insult, thank you for the reminder. Brilliant 10 minutes, excellent. Yeah, I haven't written any slips, but a social one-to-one with Steve, Sarah and Sylvia, great after watching football. Had a quick one-to-one with Mike and Paul at the mud race, one-to-one with Matt. Thank you for the money, Matt, and see you next week.
Thank you for the reminder, Scott. I'm going to commit to my 1 hour a week, definitely. I'll put that in my diary. And obviously, I told you you're a genius, but we all knew that. I've got a referral for Sylvia. I had Winston. The football was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. With these two, I find side as well. Really, really good fun. And I've got a thank you for the money to Aidan, which I put through a couple. It's not that new, but I forgot to do the slip. So there it is. Have a lovely week. See you next week, everyone.
So I I'm really meeting to see it's great host, Jean and Sarah. We really enjoyed the football and amazing presentation. Just love it. Thank you so much. Show us in the last one to see your leadership skills. Part your team in 5 minutes. Organize everything. So amazing. And I also say thank you for the money, for the team, and thank you for the money today. And actually, Terry worked really clean. I just want to say.
Well trained, Terry. Great, Ed Scott, not to waste time. I have referral from me to Mike, if you know, I'm not sure, and I've got one for Ben, which I'll hold on to. And see everyone next week.
Yeah, great meeting. Yeah, really enjoyed being part of that, and really enjoyed watching the process. Very technical. I like actually seeing how things come together, as you can imagine. Now, I've got referral from Aidan, my coffee shop client, would like to split the lease. So, thank you. And I've got 2 referrals for Sylvia. So, both of them are to do with post-construction cleaning. So, I've got 2 different contractors. They do a lot of big stuff, and they're going to need some cleaning. So, yeah. And Blake, I'm working on some referrals for you. So, I've got a tech startup. And I've also got clients that want smart home stuff, but it's a long process. So yeah, hopefully we'll see everyone next week.
And do we have two door prizes to give out today? A speaker's prize.
Yeah. Oh, positive.
Are there two to give out?
Apart from panels. Yeah. They're not quite set them up to lead the rules for this week.
Yeah. But you can draw the winners from today. Get two.
We have got Andy and we've got Joshua.
Well, that was definitely
Right. Okay. May I ask that when we finish, there'll be one people will be quite close up to half-past 8, so you could help Sally get herself sorted out and out of the way whilst they do it. Thank you all for that. Well done, Sally. Excellent. We've not travelled in time. Worth doing all the same. I thought that was brilliant. Thank you. Anybody got any announcements they wish to make?
So I sent a message around yesterday. My stepson is raising money for the World Challenge. He's got a World Cup sweepstake. It's £2.50 a ticket. If anyone would like to support him, it would be fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Brazil,
I've seen the
Brazil,
answers.
please.
You don't get to choose. It's a blind.
I love your
They come and see me if you'd like to do that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Right, I'll send you away out to the sunshine. Let's get away. We're ready. Yeah.